Welcome back to the Shadows. Tonight, I have gathered a collection of accounts for you, a journey through the corners of the world. These are tales of the unseen and the unheard, curated for those who aren't afraid to sit in the dark for a little longer than usual.
You ever get offered something that feels just a little too perfect, like it is meant for you specifically? That is exactly how it started for me. It was a normal afternoon. I was waiting for my coffee when a woman sat across from me without asking. She smiled like she already knew me, not in a creepy way, just familiar. She slid a card across the table. It had one line written on it: The Reset Experience. I laughed, thinking it was some kind of wellness retreat or therapy program. She said it was better than that. She said it was a chance to fix things. I asked what she meant. She leaned in slightly and said, "Imagine being able to undo one decision, just one." That hit me harder than I expected. Everyone has that one moment they wish they could take back. I asked how it worked. She said it was a private program, very limited spots, fully immersive. You step into a controlled environment where your life branches differently. I thought it was a marketing trick, but something about her tone felt serious. Before leaving, she told me there was no pressure, but if I wanted in, I had to decide quickly. That night, I could not stop thinking about it. What if it was real? What if I could change that one decision? A few days later, I signed up. The location was outside the city, a clean, modern building surrounded by nothing. It looked more like a research facility than a retreat. Inside, everything was quiet, too quiet. There were about 20 people, all different ages, all looking nervous but hopeful. A man welcomed us and explained the process. He said we would experience an alternate version of our lives based on a different choice we once made. It would feel real, he emphasized that. Then he added something strange. Do not resist the experience. That should have been my warning. We were each taken to separate rooms. Mine had a chair and a large glass screen that reflected my face. The man told me to sit back and relax. I asked how long it would take. He said time would feel different. Then everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I was somewhere else. Not a room, not a simulation. My apartment. But something was off. It looked the same, but cleaner, newer, like time had shifted slightly. I walked through it slowly, trying to understand. Then my phone rang. The name on the screen made my heart stop. It was someone I had lost years ago. I answered. Their voice sounded exactly the same, like nothing had ever happened. They talked to me like we never drifted apart, like everything was still intact. I should have felt happy, but I felt wrong. Because deep down, I knew this was not my life. It was a version of it. Days passed in that reality, or at least it felt like days. Everything was better. My choices had led to a different outcome, more success, more stability, more happiness. But something kept bothering me. People repeated things slightly differently. Conversations looped in subtle ways. And sometimes, when no one was looking, the world felt empty, like a stage waiting to be filled. Then one night, I saw it. My reflection didn't move with me. For a split second, it lagged. Then it corrected itself. That's when I knew this was not an alternate life. It was a replacement. I started noticing more glitches, people pausing mid-sentence, rooms resetting when I looked away, memories that didn't fully connect. It was like everything was trying too hard to convince me it was real. I tried to leave. Doors led back to the same place, streets looped. Nothing worked. Then I heard a voice. It was the same man from the facility. He spoke calmly. He said I was adapting well. I asked him what was happening. He told me the truth. This was not about changing your life. It was about replacing it. They study decision points, moments where people feel regret. Then they create versions of reality based on those decisions. But once you step in, you don't go back. I felt my chest tighten. I asked what happens to the original me. There was a pause. Then he said, that version continues, but without you. I realized what that meant. I was the one removed, not upgraded, not improved, replaced. I demanded to go back. He said that was not possible. He told me this version needed to stabilize, that I needed to accept it. But I refused. I stopped interacting, stopped responding. Everything around me began to break. The more I resisted, the more unstable the world became. Lights flickered, voices distorted, people stared at me like I was the problem. Then suddenly, everything collapsed. I woke up back in the chair. Same room, same silence. The man was standing in front of me. He looked disappointed. He said most people accept it. I asked how many don't. He didn't answer. He just handed me a paper. It was a contract. My name was already signed. I told him I never agreed to this. He smiled slightly. You already did, when you chose to stay. That's when I realized something terrifying. I'd been gone longer than I thought. Maybe weeks, maybe months. He told me I could leave, but things would feel different. He was right. When I got home, everything looked normal, but people felt distant, like I was slightly out of sync with everyone else. My memories didn't line up perfectly anymore. Small details were wrong. Conversations I remembered never happened or happened differently. I tried to ignore it, tried to move on, but sometimes, when I look in the mirror, I still see that delay, that tiny pause, like something is catching up. So, if you ever get offered a chance to fix your past, think carefully, because some choices don't change your life, they replace it.
These accounts belong to those who learned that the dark is never really empty. This collection may be over, but there are always more voices waiting to be heard in the silence. Leave a comment and tell me which of these stories shed you the most. I'm the Sightless Storyteller. Thank you for listening, and sleep well if you can.